What's happening, Commotion family, and welcome back to another episode. Last week's episode was ridiculous. Jordan B was in the house. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go back and do that. This week is going to be off the charts as well. Hunter Bolen is in the house, and we are going to chat all things Virginia Tech wrestling, and my man has an outdoor freaking company that he's launching. I can't wait to hear all about it. Make sure you show some love to Brad over at Sport Around Trophies for always hooking us up with custom tumblers, man. Sport Around Trophies and Awards on Facebook and all the social media platforms, or you can give Brad a call at 540-613-1892. Let's get to it, guys. Take your hats off.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So one thing I wish my mom would have told me, Hunter, growing up, they gave me a bunch of wisdom. The one thing I wish she would have told me is don't mess with a dude that has cauliflower ears. It's never going to end well for you. How do you feel being one of those badasses?
Actually, sometimes it's kind of annoying because I go into, like, it actually happened to me twice this week. I went to a gas station and I was in right on the corner of Henry County down and Franklin County, and the store was actually called Hillbilly Country Store. Okay. And the lady at the front, she actually asked me, "Oh, are you a fighter?" I'm just, no. She's like, "Oh. Then what's wrong with your ear?" And I'm like, I wrestled. Yeah. I wrestled. Like,
I bet it does.
I get it. I get it all the time.
Especially since UFC, you know. I mean, ever since that, it's just kind of like common knowledge.
Yeah, most people, when they see a cauliflower ear, they don't think wrestling. Yeah. Yeah, because I think UFC.
I guess grappling. It's more popular. I guess grappling and wrestling are one and the same, correct? Am I wrong in saying
Similar.
that?
I mean, grappling kind of goes in the whole thing of jiu-jitsu and all that. And it's all kind of like grappling. Yeah. That's a whole category.
But you know, the best fighters have a wrestling background. I've always said it. The ones that go the furthest.
Yeah.
You know, they just do it. Hey, guys, Hunter Bolen's in the house. Sorry. Yeah. We just kind of jumped right in there, man. So, Virginia native, am I correct in that?
Yep.
Where are you from?
I spent the first half of my life so far. I guess I've actually probably lived in Christiansburg longer now than I have in Willis, which is in Floyd. Yeah. I moved over here and I went to high school. Well, I actually went to middle school. I went to CMS my 8th grade year, and then I jumped right into high school. My family bought a house over here so we could stay and have an address so I could wrestle.
Wrestle. I was going to say, was it wrestling? Who was your coach back then?
So,
you're not that old. How old are you?
I'm 25.
25. Okay, so it's fairly recent then.
Yeah. So, Coach Daryl Weber was first 2 years of my high school. Yep. And then Coach Sonny Close, which he coaches down at Predator now in Richmond. Okay, nice. Yeah, he coached at New Kent for a few years as well.
Man, Christiansburg's always had some heat. You know, are they doing good now? How are they doing now?
I mean, we're not what we used to be, but everything must kind of come down. I mean,
yeah. You think that's coaching, or where does that fall?
Yeah, it's coaching.
Yeah.
It's coaching and it's money. Nobody wants to work bingo. Bingo's not the way to raise money for a wrestling thing now. I mean, it's tough. Just kind of hard. But back in the day when Christiansburg was rolling, you know, Kevin Dresser was kind of the guy that got that going really well, and the money coming in there. He's a great businessman. Everybody knows that about Dresser.
Yeah. So I've heard. You know, we had Joseph Collins and Matt Hand in, and they opened up the what is it? The Machine Shed. Is that right, Logan? Yeah, they've been doing stuff with dudes over there.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Got some hammers, man. Like I know his kids have been doing good, and Joseph's kids have been doing good traveling. I mean, is that something you did? Did you do all the traveling as well?
Oh yeah. My dad would take me everywhere when I was a kid.
It's a way of life. You know?
Yeah. Well, I didn't actually start wrestling until I was 11.
Really?
I was kind of a late bloomer.
Yeah, well, kids usually it's like, gosh, you see them in a singlet when they're like 4.
Wrestling's, it's obviously a really hard sport. If one of my kids wants to get in at an early age, I'm not going to stop him, but I'm also probably not going to encourage them until they're a little bit older.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times young kids, it taught me so much. It taught me what's hard and realized that everything outside of what I was doing is so much easier.
Yeah. If you get that stick-to-itiveness, I guess it's the mind over matter type of situation.
Yeah, determination and just mental toughness.
Yeah. So what during high school, did you make it to any accolades or anything like that?
Yeah, I was 3-time state champion. My freshman year, I was in the state semifinals and I broke my wrist. So yeah, I had to watch the kid that I majored twice earlier that year win the state title. But
oh man, bummer.
Looking back on it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it made me tougher.
Sorry, I have elephants upstairs. If you hear thumping, I've got two kids that run, and it's like you think they're grown men, but they're not. So Logan, jump in here real quick. You know Hunter, don't you?
Yeah, actually, I do. We purposely didn't say this before. You and I have actually wrestled twice.
Dude, I've wrestled so many people.
I know.
You know how many people I go, dude, do you remember when we wrestled? And I'm like,
Thousands.
I don't know.
Thousands. Yeah, we wrestled in middle school, I think. So the first time, I think I beat you like 2 points. Second time, a year later, you mopped the floor with me. Absolutely murdered me. And I looked at my coach. I was like, Coach, what the hell just happened? He goes, that's off-season work for you. Get back in the gym. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yep. And the rest is history.
So yeah, we're the same age. I watched you win all your state titles and everything. I won my state title my senior year in single A. So
did you go to
Georgia with?
Okay.
I was the only only person to beat Rural Retreat in the finals that year.
Oh really?
16, yeah.
Yeah, Rural Retreat had a little powerhouse there. Are they 2A now? I think they're 2A.
I think they jumped up.
They're 2A now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and they're getting stomped.
They're getting stomped by Picosin.
Yeah, they're getting stomped.
But that's cool. Yeah, whenever Nick told us, he was like, we need to bring Hunter in, so he can talk about his outdoor deal he's got going on, with his fishing and all that stuff. And Logan was like, I think I wrestled him a couple times. That's really cool,
It was at the Commonwealth Games.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was
man.
like one of my first few tournaments when I first started wrestling.
Yeah. That's killer, man. Well,
Yeah.
do you miss it? Doing
Wrestling?
it like full time?
No.
No. You're kind of good. You're like, I got that out of my system.
Dude, I did 6 years of college. I'm good.
So did you get picked by Virginia Tech, or was it like kind of one of your things? I'm not sure how that.
What are you talking about? Getting recruited?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I always kind of wanted to go to Tech, but, you don't really want to let them have that as far as like getting scholarships and stuff like that. So early on, I didn't commit till my senior year.
Okay.
But yeah, I had some stuff from NC State, a few other, but I didn't take visits anywhere else. It's kind of a homebody. I like the New River Valley.
Man, it's nice, isn't it? Everybody's moving
nice.
here. It's like, I kind of
it's a good place and it's safe and.
I kind of wish people would get the hell out of here, but I'm a real estate agent. So come on in.
The time that I moved to Christiansburg like 8-10 years ago, the traffic has gotten worse. There's so many more people. It's just grown exponentially in the last decade.
Over behind the mall is growing like crazy. They're putting that new park in for the kids and all that stuff, which I think is great.
Yeah, I think that'll be cool, to get some. I think there's like a stage up there, isn't it?
Maybe.
Do they have a stage? Like an amphitheater kind of thing?
I think I saw in like the original blueprints or something that they posted online that they were going to have a stage.
Yeah.
Which we desperately need.
Yeah,
man.
so you can get some bands in here and get people to come here.
Yep. That's what I did. I don't know.
Bring a lot of money in.
I traveled. I was tour manager and front of house engineer for country music artists for like 15 plus years. And when I come back here, part of me is so burnt out. I don't want to listen. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to do it. And part of me is like, man, I wish I could go have some fun and make some music or do something.
Well, it's like for you, the music thing, it's like the wrestling thing for me. It's like, a lot of times I just don't really want to think about it.
I know.
Yeah, when you do something all the time, like you don't really want to spend your free time thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of monotonous, especially something it can be, I liked wrestling and I still like wrestling, but, obviously there's times when it was really hard and
Sure.
tough. So it's probably the same way as you don't want to think about it on your free
It
time.
was like for me, it was just being gone.
Yeah.
Like all I wanted to do was get home, but then you miss at the same time that familiarity of, for lack of better terms, being on the mat. You just miss that.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. If I could do this here, it'd be awesome. But it's just not something you can do, man. So tell me a little bit about when you got into outdoors and like, have you always been kind of a kid at heart outside doing the thing?
My dad used to take me hunting and fishing when I was a kid all the time.
That's
I think
awesome.
It's funny actually. I think when my mom was pregnant with me, he said, and they found out it was a boy because I have 2 older sisters, and he said, finally, I got me a hunting and fishing buddy.
Got me a dude.
So we, he used to take me hunting and fishing all the time. I can remember as a kid waking up at 5 a.m, man. We'd get up to go fishing. We'd take canoes,
That's fun.
put our canoes in, drive down the river and leave a truck, drive the other truck back, and we just had a great time. We float the river, catch fish, and that's really where I got hooked on fishing.
Yeah, your pops.
Oh yeah.
That's fun, man.
Taught me a lot about bass fishing, but the muskie fishing. Now that's my buddy Keith Kraft. He showed me everything.
Those things are elusive, right?
Yeah. They're called a fish of 10,000 casts for a reason.
I've never heard it called that.
Oh
man.
yeah.
I'm a butthole, man. Let me get you a drink, bro.
Yeah.
I'll pour you one. You said you wanted one of these.
Yeah, I'll try one.
What are we sipping tonight? We got Old Granddad. You cool with having a little bit of Granddad in your mouth?
A little granddad.
I hope not.
I'll water him down so he's not so spicy.
So
There you
yours
go,
was
my
a
friend.
heavy-handed pour.
Yeah, let's see.
Dude, I heavy hand pour.
You're also a big human.
I'm a larger than normal human, I guess.
You're a big human.
So that kills it a little
Only thing
bit.
you're missing is some ice.
I don't do ice.
You
I
don't
just
like
don't.
ice?
I just don't have an ice
I mean, I'll do
dispenser.
it either way, but
I don't do ice because I don't have ice down here.
you need to get one of those little like silicone molds, and you like fill them up, put them in the freezer.
I've
and you
got
just
some.
Pop it. It's like a big chunk of ice.
I do. I have some. I'm just apologize for my laziness.
I'm just kidding. Hey,
What do you think? Is it worth it?
yeah, it's really good actually. I mean, it's got a good.
He's a tough wrestler. I mean,
Yeah, right.
I like the bitter taste. I like IPAs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
too, so.
man. We've had some craft brewers come on. Scott Rockefeller was actually on here, and he's the one that's starting that brewery up in Pulaski.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
What is it? Great
Wilderness.
Wilderness. So that's coming up in 2024, and then next week we've got Big Lick is coming in here and bringing some brews. So it's always nice.
Big Lick.
Big Lick down in Salem. It's a brewery.
It's a brewery.
Yeah.
See, because I know one of my buddies, he owns a roofing company that's called Big Lick Roofing.
Really?
Yeah. You've probably heard of it. It's all over the radio. They sponsor Sidewinders or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
Look, maybe I have to pay
I know
attention
the
now.
dude who runs it, his name's Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he like granddad drinks?
I don't know
So
about
I'm gonna
that.
buy Dakota. We'll
I'm
get
not
you a grandpa.
super duper close with him. I'm more of an acquaintance of a friend. So
Well, man, as far as the transition from wrestling and kind of that mindset, because it is a lifestyle, right? It's like you commit, you do it, that's your life. You jumped into a completely new but almost similar lifestyle because of the dedication that you have to run a business to get your sport to the next level. It's about the same.
yeah. So my girlfriend actually asked me this the other day. She's like, "Is it hard to get up every morning and go to work?" And I was like, "No." I mean, it's not easy, but I'm used to things being fairly difficult all the time. So,
Yeah.
it's like, no, I mean, compared to wrestling, everything else, I think Dan Gable said this, once you've wrestled, everything else in life is easier. And that is,
Makes sense.
yeah, things are still hard, but it's like, hey, I've done way harder. Like
Yeah.
I've been, until you've been on the mat, you know, on your hands and knees, sweating. I mean, dripping sweat, about to throw up, tears in your eyes, you know, about to break.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you've pushed yourself to that point, like you know, that's what makes you tough.
But have you ever mixed a shitty band? No, I'm joking. Because I have, and I feel like I want to die at that point too.
Yeah. No, I've never mixed a shitty band, but
I was just saying, like, I feel like that's very similar. No, I'm joking. No, like a bunch, you know, friends that I've got that are wrestlers, they have a different determination, man. Just like a different drive. Like, you know, I know Joseph and Matt and those dudes, you know, it's a dedication that you see with successful sportsmen, with successful race car drivers, with anybody that gets to that next level. You know, it's like you look at people that are mediocre in what they do. They just do it, you know, and then you have to think, well, what if I actually tried? You know what I mean? Like you see that so much. And it's like, to me, a successful wrestler, a successful businessman, they have pushed past that, well, I'm comfortable point.
Yeah.
And they've gone to the, I know what it takes. This is going to take sacrifice. I've got to do what it takes. And that's not average, you know? It's not run of the mill. You just don't see that on the street corner. You know?
I mean, it's easy to do the easy thing.
It is.
You know, like, and as human beings, we're kind of programmed to want to do the easy thing.
Sure.
You know, like it's kind of in our DNA, but it's also in our DNA to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
And
Hunters,
we shouldn't-
gatherers. Yep. That's what
We
we're
shouldn't
supposed to
look
do.
at it as a chore. I mean, work's a privilege.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, yeah, there's times that I don't want to go to work and I don't want to do certain things, but I mean, that's all a mindset thing. If you just change the way you think about it, you know, it's actually a privilege. You could be in a wheelchair.
You could.
You could, yeah. I mean,
Yep.
think about, there's tons of people that wish they could be doing what you're doing, you know? Like,
Yep. Exactly.
So you know, think about things like that, but just realizing that anything that is worth having, it's just going to take work.
Yep.
You know?
Anything.
Anything.
Doesn't matter what it is, man. There are people in other countries right now that just wish they had running water.
Yeah.
That just wish they could have food. That they, you know,
And they
what I mean?
they can't really do anything about it.
Yep.
But we can't. Like, we have the privilege to be able to do that. We're super blessed and
We
lucky.
are. We are. And then you see these kids just complaining. It kills me, man. It's like, I cannot work the 8 to 4 shift at Starbucks this week because my support animal is in the hospital. Logan.
Okay. You use the emotional support animal to swindle your
I
renter.
should have.
from
I
your
got
non-work,
my
you
dog's
know?
in the truck right now. I take him with me everywhere.
He's see, but that's good. That's fine.
I take him to work.
Does
I
it-
take him fishing. I take him.
It's a good
everywhere
dog
with me.
then.
Yeah.
If he'll follow
I've
you.
even taken him into 7-Eleven before.
Dude, if I took my dog out right now, it would just die. It's like totally incapable of surviving in the world. You know what I mean?
You have a little dog.
Oh, it's a tiny little asshole named Mayonnaise.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a Chihuahua.
Oh gosh,
It was mainly.
ankle
you let that thing
biters.
outside, a hawk will carry it
That's
off.
what I'm saying. I got to be careful. I got chickens, you know, so I'm like, I don't know which one they choose, a chicken or a daggone Mayonnaise out there. That's his name. It's ridiculous, dude. It's dumb. I
Yeah,
feel,
that would be interesting to see which one it would go for first. Probably whichever one it saw, but
yeah.
chicken might actually be more elusive than the dog.
Those things are fast, dude.
No, at least they can kind of glide a little bit.
Yeah. So the leader of the pack out there, they're only like 3 months old, you know, and the leader of the pack is one we call Bean. Don't know why we call it Bean. It just looks like a bean. And that motherfucker is mean. She pecks and goes crazy. She keeps them. There's something truth about the pecking order, dude. It's like we watched it evolve and we watched her slowly take control, and she's the smallest one, the meanest one, the fastest one, and she just runs the roost, man. It's wild. It's
I don't
so
think
funny.
people realize how like mean chickens actually are. I've seen them peck other chickens' eyes out. You know, I mean,
Oh,
they're,
dude.
they're mean.
They'll wear a chicken's butt out.
Yeah.
Like the roosters just,
Oh,
give me
yeah.
some, give me
Yeah.
some, you know, and you're like, golly.
Yeah, and they'll eat some of the nastiest stuff you've ever seen.
I know. I've seen them, they'll kind of look at a turd, you know, they'll be like this.
And then they'll give it a little
they'll be
peck, like, hey, what's that?
and then they're like wiping their face off.
They're
They're
like, what was that?
that's poop. Yeah, well, they're not smart, but they're tenacious.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They
well,
are.
they give us some good meat and eggs. So
They do. And that's the whole reason I did it. I'm not going to do them for meat or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just eggs. You know, it's not egg prices or anything. It's mainly to teach my kids some responsibility.
yeah.
Let the chickens out, feed them, make sure they got water.
Well, and then you got to wash the eggs. I used to do that when I was a kid.
Yeah. You know, we're not going to wash ours. Yeah. I think we're going to leave it on them because they last longer. They can last like 3 or 4 weeks just sitting at room temperature if you don't have to wash them.
Seriously?
But if you're giving them, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. They've got like that film when it comes out of their vajayjay. It's like film, and it makes them last.
Yeah, but you don't want to crack an egg with shit on it.
We wash it right before you cook it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you let something stay on there and dry for a long time, it might be a little hard to get off.
I don't know.
I used to soak them. I would
You
soak
did?
them and then clean them.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. This is our first time, so you are way more of a
Yeah,
pro.
I would soak them, maybe in some soapy water if they were really covered in shit.
Okay.
But,
So do they come out with legit booty?
if you put, good like cedar shavings or straw down in the nest, like make sure you keep that in there.
Yep.
It should keep it pretty clean.
So we've been doing cedar, and then whenever they actually are old enough to do to lay eggs, it's like 7 months, 6 or 7 months, I think. We're going to switch over to the hemp because apparently the hemp is like it's
really?
naturally absorbing. You know how they put that lime powder stuff down to keep the ammonia smell out? It's supposed to just take care of that and
I always
make it last
hated
longer.
that smell.
It's a weird smell, isn't
It
it?
is weird.
It's just different.
Yeah.
Chicken shit and lime.
Well,
What are we
chicken shit
doing?
itself is a strange smell, but
It is.
you add the lime in there and it gets a little funky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's on fire or something. I don't know. So back to, sorry guys, we're back.
Rabbit trail.
So when did you decide that you were going to try to pursue kind of like doing your own outdoor brand, and how did you come up with it? Like what was the deal?
So, and my buddy Keith kind of came up with, the phrase smash. He would go out and catch a fish and be like, smash one, like smash. Like he, he kind of started that phrase, and then we kind of started saying, everybody in our group kind of started saying it. And just this past like 2 years, we've kind of like had the idea to start an outdoors company here, like in the New River Valley. But we'll also, we're gonna have like an online store as well. But
Awesome.
since backcountry's closed, like there's nowhere you can really go and rent canoes and kayaks and buy like fishing baits that actually work for
Yeah.
our river.
Yeah.
Not the ones they have at Dick's or Walmart, which
Sure.
they have stuff that works, but it's not the stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to eventually have a store, and I want to sell some quality tackle, some quality gear, and we're going to do some guided trips, but we're going to do something a little bit different than what most people do as far as guiding goes. We're probably only going to run like a week's worth of trips in a month.
Okay. Is there a reason
Because-
behind that?
Yeah, because I don't believe in using our fishery, which is already teeny tiny, just to profit and make money.
Okay. Hey,
If I was to go out there with 3 people every day and beat the hell out of the same spot, which there are some people that I know that do that,
Yeah. I mean,
it's
much
not
respect,
healthy for
right?
the fishery.
Yeah.
You just go in there and you're beating the same fish over the head. And fish aren't stupid, by the way. They're pretty smart, especially muskies. Bass are smart too.
Yeah.
You throw the same lure in front of their face all the time. Eventually, they're not going to hit it, and you could potentially just end up injuring the fish. So, yeah, we're gonna do something that's a little bit different. It's gonna be more like a specialty kind of guiding service.
Okay.
It's not like, hey, you're paying me to take you fishing. Like, it's like, hey, you're going fishing with me, and we're gonna catch some fish, but like, I'm not gonna take you to like every time to like the same spot that I took the last group to, and like try to like do the same thing. I don't like that.
Yeah.
You're
It's
gonna like,
understandable.
it's
Yeah.
like, hey, we could go out and we're gonna have an adventure, and that's what it's gonna be like. We're gonna run the river.
That's killer, man.
I don't know if you've ever been in a jet boat, but
No.
yeah.
That is one thing
It's like
I've
a side by
always
side
wanted
on
to
the
do.
water,
Dude.
It's like, hey, let's see how far I can go before I smash a rock. It's pretty fun. Yeah.
Dude, we had the opportunity and I just didn't do it. I can't remember why I didn't do it. We were actually, I think we were in like Louisiana or somewhere, and we were playing a show. And hey, we want to go on the boat and go through the swamps and the marsh and all that
Oh,
stuff.
you're probably gonna go on a airboat,
Airboat.
or a boat with a gator tail drive.
I think that's what it was with the big, like engines on the back.
Yeah,
just
they got
nasty.
they got big blocks on the back of them with a fan. They get like 60 miles an hour, but you got to wear earmuffs because they'll blow your ears off.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Yeah, sitting right on top of it like
Yeah.
a dragster.
Yeah, they're loud.
So, are you going to have like a storefront? Is that like your goal?
Eventually, yeah, that's what I'd like to have. But we're gonna be online for a little while. You know, it's kind of hard to get something like that going really quick.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of money,
Money is.
and right now, money is not so great.
Are you doing your own merchandise and?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So we have our hats right here. These are some of the hats we just got in.
Killer.
We have, I think we have like 35 hats left.
Cool.
Yep, we just ordered 50 hats. But we'll have shirts and some other stuff coming out here really soon, and we're gonna launch a website probably by the end of the summer.
Nice.
So we'll have some stuff to sell on there
Killer.
as well.
Are you going to do? I know you said that you were making some custom lures. Is that
Yeah,
something
yeah.
you're going
I
to?
make my own baits. I have two that I make. One's called the Smash Bug, and one's called the Smash Horny Head. It's
Okay.
like I don't know if you've ever seen a creek chub.
I don't know.
They got
I've had a
they got
few,
little
but-
horns on their head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
He
don't
knows
know.
what I'm talking about over there.
Yeah. You got some fishermen in the house.
Yeah.
But are they jelly or what's the? How do you do that? How do you make those?
I start with, as far as, you can really make anything you want out of polymer clay. You
That's
just have
wild.
to shape and form it. And you
Okay.
get some RTV silicone and you box it in, pour your RTV silicone around the clay, and you let it set. It has to cure. Depends on what silicone it is, but it's 48 hours.
Okay.
So pull it out, and then you have your mold. So
Okay.
it's a 2-piece mold.
So they just kind of clamshell together. Is that type of deal or?
Well, actually, it's not a 2-piece mold, but I have to have 2 molds. So I pour my tail first. My tail is a separate mold,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
and I probably should have sent you a picture of the bait. so
Send
you
me
can
one
show
and we'll
it.
put it up whenever
Yeah.
we drop.
But basically, so I pour my tail. I let the tail cool a little while, but I don't want it to get too cool because when it cools down, it won't stick once I insert that into the rubber on the body of the bait.
Okay.
So you have to insert it while it's still kind of hot so it gets a good bond to it.
I got you.
It's kind of like welding in a way.
Gotcha.
You can weld rubber just like can metal. You
Yep.
just have to heat
I
it
make-
up with a butter knife.
I make custom acrylic cases, and there's that weld that we use. It's kind of the same thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it creates that, but instant bond. It's like it's a weird
Yeah.
reaction that happens. It's odd.
Yeah, but no, it's then I'll insert my tail, heat my rubber ups, and I use it's plastisol, and you have to heat it up. I think it's like 275 degrees. So you have to
Okay.
get it up. You just heat it up in a microwave,
Oh, okay.
and you add your colors and
That's
your
cool,
glitters,
man.
and you can get all creative. And if you have an airbrush and you have rubber paint, you can paint it.
You can really
which I haven't gotten into the rubber paint stuff.
Yeah. Does it make a difference? You think? Fish gonna hit it if it's sparkly?
Personally, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think colors make a difference, but pattern. Yeah, you have a good looking bait, but at the end of the day, like with a muskie, it's like, hey, there's sometimes that fish ain't gonna eat, and there's sometimes that fish is gonna eat.
Makes sense.
They make up their mind. They're weird,
Yeah.
Like, but he's gonna eat it. He's gonna eat it. It doesn't matter what color or size. Well, size and color are my 2 big things
Me
with
too.
with the muskie.
Oh, okay. So is that your main thing? I know you said you bass fish, but those muskies, they seem to be like the elusive, like that's the prize fish, right?
Yeah,
Around here,
yeah,
that's the
it's-
daddy.
Yeah. So, and we have a pretty unique fishery here. The New River, well, supposedly is the second oldest river in the world.
And it flows north.
It flows north just like the Nile. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's an amazing fishery, and it could be a lot better. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with Smash Outdoors is I'd like to raise some money, and I'd like to get the biologists paid more. you know, because our biologists, they don't get paid a lot of money. And, you know, we have a great fishery. Like, it's so cool. We have warmer temperatures in the winter as far as you look at Crater Lake Dam, all right? Every year the lake flips.
Okay.
Okay. So in the summertime, we get cooler water, okay? In the summer, the lake flips, okay? So when it's cold outside, the warm water is down underneath the lake, okay? All of it
Okay.
settles,
Yeah.
right? And you get stratification. Stratification happens about every 15 feet.
Okay.
It's stratification, or you can call it a thermal climb.
Isn't that like I've dove in and gone
And you
way
feel
down.
when you get to the bottom, it's cooler. So in the
Yeah.
summer, it's cooler on the bottom. So the water, I guess it's the density of the water changes.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's
So
kinda, I guess it's like currents almost, you know, the way that they fight and you have
in a
different-
way, yeah, it's just a temperature thing.
It's wild.
So
we have that here, right?
yeah, and in the wintertime, we get warmer temperatures coming out from under Crater Lake, and then in the summertime, we get cooler temperatures. And with muskies, you don't want to fish for them if it's 80 degrees.
Okay.
So here, you know, the warmest I've seen it is probably like 82. And that was
Water
super
temperature?
hot. Yeah, most
Yeah.
of the time our water temperatures don't get above 80 here, which is great. I can fish all summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't fish in the day for them because the water temperature is a little higher. I'll fish for them at night, but
Yeah. I was going to say, is there a preferred time to?
well, just running the river at night is kind of like I have like a bunch of lights on my boat and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll do it, but it's taken a lot of schwacks to learn.
I'm sure. So my dad, funny story, he's got a picture of it. He was fishing one night, and this is when I was tiny, right? And he was just an old John boat, you know, just coming back up. He had finished out, and he hit a log and went over it, and the boat flipped and shot his tackle box and did everything, but the boat hit him in the tooth, knocked his teeth out, like knocked 2 teeth out. And then, like, it kind of shocked him in the water. This was he said it was freezing. Like, so I don't know what time of year it was. But he says all he could do, he was like shivering and like locked up. And he was like,
Hypothermia.
yeah, he's like, it's all I could do to drag myself to the shore. And he said, I knew exactly what it was.
Oh,
And
did he sink his boat?
he sunk his boat, but they got it.
Where was he out in the lake?
I don't know, I guess. I don't know.
Was he in a John boat?
He was in a little freaking metal John boat. Like, it was green. I remember it. And, I mean, he must have hit something pretty crazy,
Yeah.
but he had a diver go back out and try to find his tackle box and stuff, because he had apparently a bunch of money in it and all that. So
They didn't find it, did they?
I don't know. I'm sure he would have told me if they did. They
Yeah.
did get his boat.
If it was in a lake, he probably would have found it.
Yeah,
There's like
wild.
Yeah.
But he has a fake tooth.
My dad has a fake tooth too.
Because of that.
My dad has a fake tooth too.
Was it because of that?
Yeah, it actually just fell out recently. It was kind of funny. He went around for like a year with like one tooth.
Man, teeth, dude. I lost one with a corn nut. A corn nut destroyed my tooth.
Did it really?
You know those hard ass corn nuts?
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
can get?
yeah.
So I was on a flight and I got corn nuts at like one of the airport stands or whatever. And I got on the flight and I was eating and I went, "Koo," and I felt it just in the back, like just like shatter, but crack a tooth. And I was like, damn it.
Dang,
know?
you cracked a molar. That's
I cracked one of these back here. And I was like, okay, shit. You know, and then when that air hits it, I got the piece out and the air hit it and it was just sensitive. And I was on tour. So like I was gone like 3 or 4 days. So I packed it with cotton swabs and used Ambisol and all that just to get back. And I got back and I went in and they were like, oh, okay, we'll put you a temporary on, right? Perfect, because I had to go back out on the road. Well, I went out and it was too long. I was gone too long. They said, okay, you know, we're going to have to do a root canal. You know, it's been too long. I was like, son of a bitch. So they did a root canal and they were like, come back and we'll do a permanent cap. So they put like a temporary cap on there. So our tour guide.
Did they put you under for a canal?
No.
They just numb.
I got it on Instagram. I was videoing, but I'm weird like that. But then our tour got extended. So I went through a freaking root canal, came back, and they told me they couldn't save the tooth, so they had to do an extraction. It was just ridiculous. I went to the dentist 3 times just to have a hole, you know. So they had to pull that tooth, and now it's still there. Just put hot tamales and shit through it all the time. So, yeah, off a corn nut, dude.
Have you ate corn nuts since then?
Yeah, I'm a glutton, dude.
You like corn nuts?
I'm what they call tough, Hunter.
Didn't learn.
I'm tougher than hell. I'm trying to get one on this side. I'm trying to break all my teeth. Look amazing.
Fucking old habits die hard.
They do, man. Teeth don't. Teeth die easy, apparently.
Yep.
Super easy. Hey, let's hit this up. Hey, let's hit the finna ask a mug. Let's do it.
You finna ask him,
I'm finna ask him. Finna ask a mug. Finna ask Hunter Bolen. We got 5 questions, man. You can go as fast or as slow on these questions as you want.
All right.
All right. Number 1. What is the weirdest thing you have eaten?
Pork brain, probably.
Yeah. How was that?
It was gross.
What was the consistency?
Actually, my dad scrambled it with eggs.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's actually kind of a messed up story.
Please.
I raked it out in the trash can.
Okay.
Yeah. And he opened the trash can and saw it. And he made me take a bite out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and out of the trash can.
He said, boy, get that back out.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
It's time to feast.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. That's probably the most messed up thing ever.
So he said pork brains for dinner, and you're like, "No, I'm good."
No, it was breakfast. We were going to. It was right before church. Yeah, I was like,
That's a weird pre-church breakfast, Dad.
I was like, I don't want that. He's like, try it, just try it. I think I tried it.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't try it. I can't remember. This has been years ago, but
Put some hot sauce on that shit.
it was disgusting.
Pork brain does not sound good. Like, because they're just kind of nasty animals anyway. So
Yeah,
you
they
think,
are. I don't want to eat their brain.
I don't know what you thought about.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I've
know?
tried squirrel brain. That's pretty good, actually.
I've had squirrel brain, heart. I've had obese nuts. I've had
You
a
ever
bunch
had
of stuff.
eyeball?
Yes, I have. Juicy, very juicy.
Sheep tongue?
Goat? No.
Sheep tongue. It's kind of spicy.
Really?
Yeah.
Why the hell is it spicy?
I don't know. It just has a weird, spicy kind of like texture to it.
Did they put
I think
spices on it?
Well, yeah, they have spices on it, but it's like the texture of it kind of like makes it spicier in a way.
I just can't do that. I don't know about tongues, man.
Yeah, I tried a piece of it. It was, I won't try it again.
Yeah, good to go. All right, so I'm sorry your dad put you through that, bro. No,
I don't hold it against him.
it made me stronger. This was actually last week, by the way. Number 2, how many times have you had your heart broken? You ever had your heart broke?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, just don't get too attached.
Not really.
Just doing your thing.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Favorite action movie? Bro, there's some good ones.
Yeah, there are some good ones. I don't know. I've always liked Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and all that stuff.
Okay, that's more of
Yeah.
a fantasy movie though, like
You think so?
action. Yeah, like
Action?
Die Hard,
Like a
you know.
007 movie kind of
Yeah,
thing.
something like that.
Man, I don't know.
If me and you could share some popcorn and turn that TV on, and I said, Hunter, pick a good action movie, and you really wanted to impress me, what are you throwing at me?
Probably. You ever seen MacGruber?
Okay,
Probably MacGruber. I love MacGruber.
MacGruber!
I think it's so funny.
Oh, it's so awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's my sense of humor.
I
think it's
love
hilarious.
it. All right, hey, go get some popcorn. No, I'm joking. All right.
MacGruber.
All right. So, what's a body part you wouldn't mind losing?
I don't know. You could probably cut off my cauliflower ear.
You just be good with it? Less questions.
I can't hear good out of this ear. Yeah.
Really?
No.
Just kind of closed
Well,
up.
then your ear is shaped a certain way so it catches sound and puts it into your
Makes
your
sense.
ear hole.
I had that same
and it's
conversation.
like my ear's like flat right here. So.
Yep. I had the same conversation with Jens Pulver, like friends with Jens, good dude. We were at a hibachi restaurant, and I was talking to him, he and his wife, and this when his kid was little. And he was like, I'm sorry, man, I can't hear for shit. I was like, no, it's good, man. It's good. All right. So, last one, and then we will take a commercial break.
All right.
Is there life after death?
Yes.
All right. What is said life?
What is the life after
Yeah.
death?
Yeah.
Well, I believe there's a heaven and a hell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christian?
Yeah.
Good for you, man. As are most of us, I'm pretty sure.
Agreed.
What do you envision heaven to be? Because we had a theologian on here, and what's crazy is his thought of heaven is a lot different than even biblical studies.
Well, I think, and I can't remember what verse it is that says it in the Bible, but before Jesus left, he said, I'm leaving. As he left the disciples, I'm leaving to prepare a place for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally think that heaven is different for every person that goes there. I mean, it's heaven.
Yeah.
It's something that you're going to like. I mean, for me personally,
hope.
Streets
Yeah.
of Gold don't sound too appealing.
Yeah.
But
It might be
who
catered
knows?
to you. It might be Streets of Lures.
Streets of Lures and the river and musky fishing. That's my heaven.
And it could, that's my thought process is like, he was like, heaven might be earth, and it might just be earth the way that it was intended to be before sin.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the way I would hope to envision it. I mean, because I like the earth, you know, obviously I like it.
I do too.
I mean, yeah, there's things that are hard and suck about it, but
Mm-hmm.
still like it.
Yep.
Like, imagine if all the things that sucked were fixed.
Yeah, just
Like there was no such thing as pain.
that'd be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I mean,
Be surreal, dude.
yeah, like, but if you die and you come back, like, you got to think, like, you would probably just perceive things differently than you do now in a mortal body.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What I hope in my heart of hearts is that it's not like some weird reincarnation and you're reincarnated as all the dumb shit that you used to make fun of. So I'd be reincarnated as like somebody's really terrible eyebrows, or like, you know what I mean? Like a short dude that smelled bad. You know what I mean? That would be terrible. Like,
Yeah.
that's my hope. I'm like, please let there be streets of gold. Let me sit to the right hand of God the Father. You know what I mean? It's please don't let me be like a tulip.
I think like the picture that's painted of heaven, I think personally, I don't think it's going to be like that.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird because
That is if I get to go there, which I really hope so.
well, and it's just up for interpretation on how we get there. There's so many different ways.
In today's
it.
world, yeah, there's a lot of different views on that, but I do believe there's an absolute truth.
Yeah.
I
do
truly
too.
believe that. So.
I do too, man. I do too. Hey, let's take a commercial break. Let's watch some ridiculous stuff. I am going to go make the pee-pee dance, and we'll see you shortly.
Hello?
Hey, Drew, it's Rob with Thacker Real Estate Group. I actually got your number from Brad. He had mentioned that you had a house to sell in Virginia.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we actually met. Yep, that's me. Hey, I thought you might want to chat. I'm in the area right now and would love to stop by.
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Oh, nice. What are you watching?
Oh, just some scary movie.
I love scary movies, actually. If you have time, I'd love to stop by and talk about selling your house.
Uh-huh.
The first time we talked, you said that you might have been talking with someone else.
No.
I know for a fact that you're talking to another realtor.
What did you say?
I said I know for a fact that you are talking to another realtor. You want to play these games, answer the phone like, hello, and all that stuff. We went to dinner with Brad and Angie like 2 weeks after that party, and you're sitting here talking to me about selling your house, and now I find out it's somebody else?
Ugh, look, I gotta go.
It just kind of hurts, Drew. I thought we had something. We had such a connection. I just want to know who. I just want to know who.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
No, that's more lies. I'm pretty sure that's what you're watching right now on TV. You can end it now. Just tell me who, Drew. Tell me who it is.
The guy in the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters.
Oh, I knew it. Oh my gosh. Of all the people that you could have used. Bye, Drew. This is goodbye. Well, I'm just talking to Hunter, and he said he's going fishing after the podcast. But you got to get up at 5:30. But you like pain.
Hey,
so.
if you like something enough, you'll do it regardless.
Where are you going to go? Where do you think you'll?
Oh, I can't tell you my spots, man.
Well, I don't know the spots. You can,
Yeah, but if I tell,
all you have to say
if
is
I
the
say
river
it,
or the lake, and I'll be like, yeah, cool,
I mean,
man.
yeah, I'm going to the river, no doubt. Yeah,
Perfect.
it'll be somewhere from Clear Lake Dam down to McCoy,
down to Hiawassee down there.
up there. Hawassee's back that way.
Yeah, I don't know where to go. Where were you? Mikey Barber's in the house, y'all. He is a fellow fisherman, and he has been working his tail off. Last time I talked to him, he's a jack of all trades, but he was doing some stuff up Smith Mountain Lake, weren't you? Up in Moneta. Now he's back in Christiansburg doing the thing. He's working to fish. Your nipple is out. Thank you. All right, and we're back.
Hold on. There we go.
Thank you. We have to do that. So when you open your website and all that stuff, what can people expect? Obviously, we've talked about, kind of guided trips and swag and hats and all that stuff. And are you gonna try to just keep it to your brand, or are you gonna kind of welcome other custom builders to your site?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I haven't got that far in my thought process. There's also a lot of other things that I'm thinking about making as well.
Okay. You I guess there's only so many components that can go into fishing, you know what I mean? Like
so many
lures and rods and
so
reels.
many.
And,
That's what the word so many, because there are so many.
see, I don't fish as much as I should.
It's not
because-
just fishing for us either. We're really big into duck hunting as well.
Oh.
Of course, duck hunting's not really the mecca here in Southwest Virginia, but it's gotten a lot better over the last 2-3 years. It used to be better years ago, but the flyways change.
Okay. I was going to ask, what makes good duck or good, quail, duck, all that stuff?
Well, I don't really on the whole quail thing. That's not really my expertise, and
Okay.
I kind of just got into duck hunting not too long ago. But I absolutely love it. It's so much fun at duck meat. You ever had good duck? Oh,
I'm not going to do it.
Why
I'm
not?
not falling in the trap, because I had a friend that says, you ever had duck meat? I'd be like, no. There's old duck on down here and get you some.
No. I'm not gonna crack one of those on you right now. No.
But yes, I've had duck meat, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Imagine shooting it and then bringing it home and cooking it.
Yeah.
it's
You listen to
delicious.
hip hop at all?
No,
You ever listen to Yellow Wolf?
sometimes. I never heard of that. No.
So Yellow Wolf, he's like a southern hip hop, but he's got just killer. I mean, it's not like hip hop of today. It's got deep roots in Alabama and stuff like that. And he talks about having quail and duck, and you just hear him spitting out a pellet, and he's just talking about stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's cool, man. Makes you want to do it.
Yeah, funny story actually with the steel pellets.
Yeah.
I gave my Coach Freyer, I gave him a few duck breasts this year, and he texted me and sent me a picture of 2 or 3 pellets out on a plate. He's like, yeah, it was good, but I got a chipped tooth.
I was gonna say corn nuts.
Yeah, he said he had a chipped tooth, and I was like, oh man, I feel bad, because I cleaned it, and usually I get all the steel pellets out.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're kind of lodged in the breast, and
You need a
can't
radar.
really-
You need a detector, man. Boop, 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 boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop, boop.
Well, I mean, yeah, I felt bad, but he was actually just messing with me. So.
Oh, okay.
He
I
did
guess
bite into it, but he didn't crack his tooth.
That's a surprise though when you get something in there.
Yeah. I'm usually pretty careful. I
Yeah.
like to slice it pretty thin, so if there's
Okay.
any in there, pop right out.
So how do you cook it? How do you typically cook yours?
So I like to. You got to leave the skin on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave the skin on it. I'll fillet the breast out, and I mean, that's pretty much all that you get off a duck is the breast.
Yeah, I
unless
was
you
gonna
pluck
say.
it and then do the whole body, but their legs. They're
Yeah.
not standing that much; they're swimming, so their legs aren't really that big.
Not too meaty. Throw that mug on a Blackstone or what?
You could. I usually just pan sear them in some butter.
Ooh, God, I'm hungry. All I had to
You want to go skin side down first, all right, and then
Okay.
slowly increase your heat. That'll leach the fat into the meat.
Daggone. Martha
Same thing
Stewart.
with salmon as well, like salmon skin.
See, I do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put it on some wood sometimes and just slow heat it.
Yeah.
Just let it smoke a little bit too. I've got the kind of the smoker out there too, and I like kind of searing it, smoking it, and putting it back in.
Oh yeah,
After a
anytime you
little
smoke something, you get all that smoky flavor in
bit.
there.
Lord have mercy, I'm hungry. I only had a hot dog and a couple munchos today. I've been all
You have a
over the
smoker?
place. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring you some duck sometime.
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love to
smoke it.
duck some of your
Smoking
duck
it,
meat.
it's kind of like hard to smoke. It's
How
easy.
do-
It's easy to get really dry.
I was gonna say it seems like a drier meat anyway. So do you
It's
inject
just
it
like
or?
filet mignon. Like that's
Yeah.
what it tastes like to me.
Yeah.
Like mallard, Actually, wood duck would be the closest thing to a filet mignon because wood ducks eat like acorns and stuff.
Yeah, it's a real nutty.
Yeah, but
Type
it's
deal.
not nutty. It's my favorite, hands down.
I need to try it then, man.
Yeah.
Because what
Well-
I've had's been, obviously, it's been in a restaurant or somewhere and probably over prepared, everything.
The cool thing about like ducks is like there's so many different ducks, and
Yeah.
like every time you go hunting, it's like you never know what you could kill. Like you could kill a teal one day, and you could kill a pintail the next day. Like, and every duck, obviously ducks are beautiful.
Yeah.
Their feathers, beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't get to just like look at them, but then you get to taste them, and like every duck has a little bit of a different flavor. Like mallard is more of I would say mallard's like the standard meat as far as like tastes the closest to like a steak.
Okay. Yeah.
But you
I
go
can see
down,
that,
you
yeah.
go down to like diver ducks, like teal and stuff like that. They eat more like fish and stuff like that. So they're a little more of a gamey kind of meat. But some people like gamey meat. I like gamey meat.
Yeah. See, I don't. I've had bear and I've had certain things that were just like, whew, just a little potent, and I know it's probably in preparation too.
Yeah, best way I think to cook bear is to smoke it.
Yeah. I've
Smoked
never
bear
had it.
meat's good.
I've never had smoked.
But you got to make sure you cook it good because I think it's got the whatever.
Trichinella.
Trichinella, yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
Dude's getting sick. He still, last week, proposed a friend tax, and he still hasn't. Are you cool? Are you cool with that? Can we revisit
I'm
that?
about to pop in this chimney right quick.
Are you cool with that, Logan? Friend tax. Then I can buy some duck meat and afford to
What's the
smoke
percentage
some
we're
bear.
talking about here?
10 to 12% of your income.
Golly!
So $14.
Whoa!
Get out. Hey. Thank you. Nah, but like when we were with Craig, he was a big game hunter and he would hunt in Africa, and we've had ibis and, just a killer kangaroo, you name it, we've done it. And bear was probably the only meat that I was like, nah, I'm good.
What kind of bear was it? Black bear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he mounted it, and honestly, it was the saddest mount I've ever seen. It looked like, I was like, he hyped it up to be this huge black bear, this huge, and he showed us the mount. He's like, oh, I got the mount in house. Look at that. And I'm like, he's standing next to it, and he's like 5'8", and I'm like, I ain't scared of that bear. You know what I mean? It was, to me, it was probably the way it was prepared, honestly. Yeah. But it was all purple. It was just like
purple.
Not so much.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it, And I've had pretty much all of that, I like rattlesnake though. You ever had rattlesnake?
I have not had rattlesnake.
Bro, it's like it's kind of like have you had alligator?
Yeah.
Okay, so catfish and alligator, that kind of greasy, just that good kind of consistency to it. It's kind of like that, but it has a little spice to it. So it might have a goat tongue or something too.
Actually, I've never seen, as much as I've been in the woods and stuff, I've never actually seen a copperhead in real life.
Really? Funny story about it.
It's kind of weird. It's crazy. I don't know how. I haven't come up. I've seen a rattlesnake swimming across the water before.
Really? See, I haven't seen that, but we were putting in an above ground pool when I was little, and my grandma, we grew up in Reiner, and she was standing in the road, and I remember coming down, and her name, we called her Mama G, and I was like, Mama G, don't move. There's a snake next to you. And it was a freaking copperhead, and I didn't know. And it was right next to her, and my dad came down, and he kind of distracted it, and she was able to get away. But, dude, those things are no joke.
Man, they're camouflaged, too.
Yeah, you couldn't hardly see it. It was wild. I've seen water moccasins and dealt with those things all the time, going to the river and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, those copperheads, I don't want to eat one either. We actually ate the rattlesnake. We were in Texas. We did Air Force entertainment tour.
Oh, really?
And we were doing, I can't remember the name of the Air Force base there, but we went out. I always like to take my guys somewhere fun. Like we went to the Olympic kind of deal in Colorado where they trained, and I always try to take them somewhere fun. And there it was like they had a rattlesnake farm, and you could go out and you could find your own rattlesnake, bring it back. They cook it up. We didn't get to go out because it was raining. They were like, they hide, they do this, but we got a bunch here in. Dude, it's so funny. It was so Texas. It was so Texas.
Was it Lackland?
Lackland, yeah. And we went into this warehouse, and as soon as you stepped in this warehouse, it was just, I was like, oh,
was it eerie?
It was just weird, dude. It was like, it didn't feel comfortable, you know? And you look and there was this red barrier of like plywood that they had painted red, and they spray painted like, you know, snakes and shit on it. And then there were like, entombed and embalmed snakes and, you know, all the just crazy stuff, huge rattlers and all this. And these dudes had all these old 70, 80-year-old dudes had on red hats with like rattlesnakes, you know, and all this shit. And I was like, this is where I need to be. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, all right. I am so glad. And a couple of the guys, they were all bougie LA friggin' players, you know, and they were like, oh no. They were like, you country bumpkin, you know, you trying to make us come here and do that. I was like, trust me, this is going to be cool. So we start getting into it. And inside of this probably 20 by 20 ring might've been 40 rattlesnakes, right? So the guys were like, y'all can hop on in there, but come over here real quick. And I was like, no, you know, I was like, I'm brave, but I'm not stupid. They were like, we can get you these leather things that they can only strike 1.5 times their body, whatever, you know what I mean? So everybody put on these leather waders and all this stuff, dude. And as soon as we stepped in there, our guitar player, Daniel, you know, remember Arms at all? The one just goes and just cracks him right on the leg, right? But it's through the leather, so it doesn't. He gets out. He's like, "Nope, I'm out of here. I can't do this. This is not for me, guys." You know, he's from upstate New York, and just hilarious. But we get in there and they pick him up and they, you know, do all this stuff, and then they're like, pick one, and I was like, for what? Like, what are we talking? Are we wrestling? Am I eating? You know, what do we like? Just pick one for what? So I picked a pretty big one, a juicy one, and we took it back and we fried it up and like the whole deal. They pulled the skin off. And
did it have a lot of meat on it?
Surprisingly, dude. Yeah. It had a bunch of ribs, you know. It was kind of like that deal. But midway through, you can pull it and you can pull the rib out and it almost separates the meat. It's like a weird process. But to me, you know, it tasted, it had the alligator catfish type deal, but almost like a pork rind taste, kind of like a airy, like it was good, man. I'd eat it again. I thought it was great.
I would try it.
Yeah, it was good.
If I had it in front of me right now, I'd take a bite.
I need to do that more. I need to fry more rattlesnake for my guests.
Just order a rattlesnake here and then we'll just cook it up.
Bring it in, let it slither around a while, and then
maybe not do that, but
smoke it up.
I might have to stomp it on the head if it's running around in here.
Dude, those things, man, those things they get big and thick. I think the one I picked was like that thick.
Yeah, they get thick.
It was a big boy. So as far as back to kind of the website and moving forward with you, where do you see yourself like this time next year? Are you moving at a pretty good pace to where you feel confident you're gonna start doing these things?
I think things will start going faster. It just takes time to get stuff started, you know.
Yep. Are you you're in the baby phase right now?
Yeah, we're still in the baby phase, trying to make things fit together. But yeah, I think this time next year it'll be a lot further along than what it is now. Once I get the website going.
I gotcha. Are you aiming to start booking like little expeditions and tours and stuff like that for next year?
Yeah, you got to have a guide license for all that.
Oh, okay. How's that work?
The place to get your guide license, and I've only done like a little bit of research on this. I've been so busy, but I think it's close to like Maryland or in Maryland, like the place you gotta like do it at.
I gotcha. So there's like a whole, of course it's mandated. Everything's
mandated.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got liability stuff as far as taking people out on the river. Like
that's probably a thing. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. Especially, I guess, all the insurance and shit you got to go through to make that happen.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that like would keep me from like taking people out and then pay me right now. I mean, because if you don't have a guide license and your people are paying you to take them out, like you're gonna get busted for that.
You should just do a private membership, private club. Pay your dues and then you go out, right?
I mean, that's still technically guiding in a way.
You do it for free. It just keeps your private club and everything.
I mean, I guess you can probably get away around it in some way.
It's kind of like a prescription, or not prescription, a subscription service. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a weird thing.
I see what you're saying.
I don't know. Just a loophole you might.
Yeah. Also, me and Josh Fugate, that's my Josh Fugate and Keith Kraft, they're kind of like helping me out with it. They're kind of my partners in a way.
Killer.
And we're working everything out. But yeah, Josh, he's kind of more over like the hunting side of things. It's not just going to be a fishing thing; it's going to be hunting as well.
So I'm working with a couple right now trying to find them. They want like an investment property, and I showed them a place. This one was actually in Meadows-a-Dan.
Mm-hmm.
It was 50 acres, rolling hills. It had
Meadows-a-Dan's pretty.
That was beautiful, man.
Yeah, my dad used to own we leased a tree farm out there for years.
Yeah. There,
It's Lover's Leap.
Okay, I've heard of that. This place adjoins a tree farm. It's probably totally unrelated, but the instructions when we went there was like, past the tree farm, you'll see a bunch of trees. Take a left on, I can't remember the name of the street, but it's 50 acres. Has a beautiful cabin on it. It's only like a 2-bedroom, but it's all the amenities. And they were like, we were thinking about doing this. And then I started talking with them, and I was like, what you need to do is, because they were 1031ing it. What that means is they're just investing their money and trying to do it, and you have to rent it out so many days. I said, you need to get your guide situation settled and do guided hunts out here, because it is perfect. I mean, the land is ridiculous, or at least find somebody and sublet it out to them to do that stuff, because that is a market. Until I traveled, I had no idea how much money was in guided hunting and, all that stuff. And then Craig would just go on these ridiculous expeditions, we're talking 15 grand, for like a 2-day hunt. And they just lead them out. There's one.
Yeah.
And we go home. It's like, wow, dude. That's a real deal,
Yeah. And, as far as like the guiding people and stuff, like when you take people out and show them things, like you're teaching people things.
True.
Too, as well. Part of what I want to do is make a more sustainable fishery.
Okay.
And part of that is just teaching people how to handle fish. Our YouTube channel and all that is we have some stuff on there.
Shout that out. What's the YouTube?
Smash Outdoors.
Okay.
Yep. You search it on YouTube, it should pop right up.
And I was going to ask, like, what is the responsible way? Like, obviously, catch and release and.
Well,
and
I mean, you want to be smart about it. A lot of it's just common sense. I mean, just put the fish back in the water. Don't keep it out of the water for 5 minutes taking pictures,
Gotcha.
I mean, obviously, with a bass, you can keep a bass out of the water longer than a muskie. It's a lot bigger fish. It's a little more sensitive to being out of the water. So a lot of times, like in the summertime, I won't even pull a muskie out of the net.
Okay.
I just leave them in the net. And I have a net. I mean, honestly, I could fit in the net. If I squatted down or like hunkered down, I would fit in it. It's how big it is. It's too big. I don't like it, but
I got you. Hard to get down in.
I got a good deal on it, so.
Hey, it's all about the deal.
I'm gonna sell it eventually. I don't like it.
Be looking for that online.
Yeah.
So when you catch muskie, right? Do you always release?
Yeah. Oh, I always release them. And that's part of the thing that I want to do is I want to get a better stalking program and a better study program going. A lot of our biologists, they go out a certain time of year, and it's usually in March, and they'll shock, but they only shock at they'll shock at Whitethorn, they'll shock at Riverview, and they'll shock at the dam.
Okay.
People call it the Sportsman.
Yeah.
They'll shock up there. And, in the wintertime, and primarily they'll go down to Whitethorn and they'll be like, hey, we shocked like 200 fish there. Well, yeah, you shocked 200 fish there because this time of year, that's where all the fish go. I'm talking about as a whole, the entire river. And I don't just fish Whitethorn. Okay. I go all over the place and fish. So there's parts of the river where there's not very many muskies.
Okay.
And it's not like, hey, they're not eating the smallmouth, which a lot of people are like, well, you don't want to stalk too many. They'll eat all the smallmouth. No, they won't.
Okay.
They eat suckers primarily. They've done studies on it. And, part of the thing is we want to get a better stalking program. Part of that is paying the biologists more. They don't make that much money. I don't think they definitely don't make over $45,000 a year. I don't think.
Okay.
I think you can probably look it up, but they don't make as much money as they should. And obviously, if you're not getting paid a lot of money, then you're probably not going to give crap about your job.
Sure.
Yeah.
So explain shocking, because genuinely I have no idea.
Okay,
I don't
so
know what that is.
they'll have like electrodes. They'll be usually like 2 arms. All right, and imagine my fingers are little wires. Okay, and they dip those wires down into the water. All right.
Okay.
And they send a voltage. They have a generator and batteries on the boat and live wells and stuff, and they'll send a volt. I'm not sure what the voltage is for a muskie, or like, and sometimes they can't shock, like they can only shock so deep, and like the bigger fish is obviously a lot harder to stun. So like when they shock the water, the fish will just belly up. They're stunned for a little bit, like temporarily. And they'll, put them in the live well, do whatever, like tag them. A lot of our fish have pit tags in them now.
Okay.
Yeah. They're little like magnetic chips behind their dorsal.
Wow.
And you can go on Amazon and get like a little tag reader, read the tag, which is actually pretty cool, because I've had fish. When I had a tag reader, and I was part of Muskies Inc., had a tag reader, and there was a fish, and I caught it. My buddy caught it 1 week, and then I caught it the next week because I scanned the tag and it was the same exact fish.
That's killer. So there's like an app that'll show you like
no, it's just it shows up on the reader.
Okay.
Like, you just got to write it down and record the data.
I got you.
Yeah.
See, I for my dumb ass, I thought shocking, like we used to shock our pool to make sure that the water was good. And I was sitting over here thinking, I was like, oh, they're shocking it for the you know what I mean? I was to make sure it's nice for the fish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They just stun them, and they belly up and all that. But
okay. That's killer. Yeah.
I think that there could be, it's a great fishery, and we kind of have like and this is what they say is like our own like kind of genetic muskie here in the New River. Like they say the muskies in the New River are different than the muskies in the James River.
I wonder what that is.
I don't really believe that.
Okay.
I just think that they eat different stuff in the James River. They have fall fish down there, and we have, a different food up here that they eat. So like obviously that's going to change the behavior of a fish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a smaller body of water at the James.
Yeah. That's wild. That's
you're
going
to see more fish because there's only so many places you can fish. You have a bigger body of water, you're gonna have to take a lot more time to find those fish.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I got a buddy, Chris. He does, not Chris that we were talking about earlier, but another one. And I mean, he's got pictures. He's a pretty big dude too. And I mean, he's holding them out. And it's like, golly. Is that the type of fish that kind of has a pattern to the way that it behaves?
Muskies?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times that I feel like I have it figured out.
Okay.
But then there's days that I go out and I'm like, this sucks.
Where is this fish, man?
that's the fun part behind it. And that's what I feel like I really want a lot more people to be able to experience that. And right now, a lot of people can't because it could be better. And it used to, when they stocked consistently on the New River, it was so much better years ago, like back in 2000, like when the state record was caught in 2007. The fishery was just insane. There was tons of big fish. I mean, you go out on a day, and if I fished as hard as I do now, back then, I could probably go out, every other day and catch 5 muskies. Now I can go out maybe every week and catch 2 or 3 in a week.
Yeah.
If I really try.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard because the bottom line is there's not as many fish, and the biologists, and they'll try to say differently, but they don't spend as much time out there as I do.
Yeah.
I spend a ton of time out on the river, and I want the game department and the biologists to work closer with fishermen. I know that they have a college degree and they can name every species of fish, but they can't tell me anything about the ecosystem as much as I can because I spend time out there. That's what it is. It's not, you can't read that in a book. You just got to go out there and experience it. And if they work more hand in hand with us, then it would be better.
Yep.
And that's what I want to do with, and I'm not shooting darts at them or anything like that. I'm communicating. I think if we worked together, we could make a better fishery. If they talked to more fishermen and listened, it would be better.
Boots on the ground, man. You gotta listen to your troops.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, ultimately they're doing it.
I want it to be sustainable. So like a lot of people can come here and musky fish. When it's cold in the wintertime, which in Wisconsin, Minnesota, places like that, That's the Muskie Mecca.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's where it's at. Well, their lakes freeze over in the wintertime. And some of those guys, they like to come down here because we can fish all winter. Our river never freezes over.
That makes sense, man.
Yeah.
Ice fishing, that's a whole different.
I've never done that. I'd love to go ice fishing. I'm going to do it. I will do it one of these days for sure.
Just you've seen some of these people, they like drive out on the ice, dragging this ridiculously elaborate
sled.
Yeah.
Or they'll have snowmobiles
pulling this house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they've got like just
holes in the floor. You drill the holes. It looks like a good time.
It looks great, dude. It's like, man, I would love to have some grandpa in my mouth on a cold icy day.
Yeah.
Run that past me one more time.
What's that?
Can you run that past me one more time?
I said I would love to be on a cold piece of ice with some grandpa in my mouth.
Okay, that's what I thought you said.
All right. Hey, hold on 1 second. I gotta grab this. Mikey, come here. LeBron James. Get you a little drink. Mikey Barber in the house. Show the back of his t-shirt. There you go, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy. You good? You want some more?
Yeah, a little bit.
It might be a neat one, brother.
Give him a horn.
Might be a neat one. So are you seriously? That's not going to drown that out at all. Sorry.
That's all right.
I
can handle it.
You got it.
It's an enhancer.
It's straight. It's not even on the rocks.
No. It's nowhere. It's nowhere near the bank.
Yeah.
So are you going to go fishing tonight?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you got all your stuff.
Yeah, I'm going with my buddy. I haven't seen him in a while, so.
Oh, killer, man.
Yeah, we haven't fished together in quite a while, so.
That's awesome, dude. So when you go out, is there like any sort of ritual that you do? Any sort of, a lot of people, I know Eskimos pee on stuff when they go fishing.
Ritual? I mean, not really.
You just kind of make it happen.
A lot of fishing's just being persistent. I mean, yeah, there's some tack, but it's being in the right place.
Put some grandpa on that lure.
Put some grandpa on it, man.
Yeah, put a little grandpa sauce.
Take you a little
secret sauce. Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I have some stuff that it's called Dip and Glow.
What is that?
It's like it's a dye and a flavored thing you put on plastic baits for bass.
Oh.
Yeah, I call it the secret sauce.
Can they taste the plastic in the, I guess I don't know how I don't know how it works.
Yeah, they can taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they like smell.
They
smell. I think they like smell more than they taste. Like
Okay.
they smell through, or they taste through their like nose, kind of in a way.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is.
And here's the weirdest part. How do we know that?
Science.
I know, but how do they know that? It's
Like a science bitch.
Science. Yeah, it's crazy, but I mean, obviously they do. I mean, we know that because like there's certain times you go out there and you throw like something plain and you put a little secret sauce on there and they like it a little bit more.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'll have like more, if I miss a fish and I have like the secret sauce on, a lot of times I'll get like that second eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of times I don't put it on there.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to do too much. Sometimes too much is...
It's like your secret move, keep it in the back of your pocket.
Yeah, if I'm really struggling, I'll do it, but...
Yeah, I need a fish.
I haven't done it in quite a while, actually. Should probably do it.
I haven't either, but I'm married. As far as friends and going out on the boat, do you I know I have a couple friends that are like, this is my time. I just want to go out, unwind, do my thing. And then I've got others that are like, party, put it in, I'm gonna catch a bluegill. Like I'm sure there's like a kind of an in-between for you. Do you overly take it serious, or do you find that pleasure zone too?
I'll do both.
Yeah.
I have
I
fun
feel
every
like you
time I
have
go.
to,
I just
right?
love it.
It's
I
better.
love it.
It's better than a lot
I'll take
of
it
shit.
serious. I love it when I'm taking it serious, and I love it when I'm just out there blowing off steam,
Yeah. I need to get out on the water, man.
It's the best of both worlds. Like I said, it's like riding a side-by-side on the river or on the water. You're running in, my boat will run in about 3 to 2 inches of water.
Nice.
Like it pretty much has to be sticking up out of the water for me to hit it.
Dang.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's a good time. Yeah, it handles like a little jet ski. I mean,
that's wild.
I got a 50-35 Tohatsu.
Yeah.
Electric trim. Oh, that thing runs like a scalded dog.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
My uncle growing up, Smith Mountain Lake, he had a bright red dual Corvette. It had that Corvette like valve covers on it.
Oh, really?
That thing, he throttled down one time. I remember I was little, and when you're little, everything else is
like amplified.
It's
like
exaggerated.
You've never experienced it before.
Oh, but I remember it just going,
Yeah.
and just being like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that thing was ridiculous. It was gel candy red, just stupid. And I didn't see the point in it at all. Like it was like too fast, ridiculous. He didn't fish. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like,
Yeah, but I mean,
cool.
I like boats. Some people just like boats.
Hey, I get it. I play with
boats
toy
on
cars.
the water,
Oh.
running on the water. Like it's fun. Like the other day,
Yeah.
I was out on the water. And my buddy was like, I was like, hey man, let's go to Radford. We were way down in like Bell Springs. So let's
Okay.
go to Radford. He's like, why would I go to Radford? There's fish here. I said, well, I just like running the river.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care. Like,
Yeah, right.
I know I could catch fish down here, but I'm just gonna go for a run.
That shit's fun though. My buddy Jeremy, growing up, the funnest I've ever had, I think, has been on a pontoon. It was like the best of
Party boat.
party barge, dude. Like it had everything. We could fish, we
Yeah.
could swim, we could grill.
And they're stable.
Yeah, dude. And it wasn't fast. It was fast enough to where you could sit on a tube and just be like this. You know what I mean? It wasn't like exhilarating
Yeah.
speed, but damn, if it wasn't funny. We used to take watermelons and we had a 4-inch hole saw, right? Or whatever size this is. And we take moonshine and we get a watermelon and we drill a hole through the rind and we'd screw it on a thing of moonshine. And then it would soak in, and by the end of the day, it's time to cut that watermelon open.
I bet it probably didn't taste that great.
Can't remember.
Freaking
I do not remember.
120
But I'm telling
I've
you,
been part of the vodka melon experience. It's not that great. It's kind of gross.
with the water, but there's something about being 18, having moonshine out of a watermelon.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, it's like, man,
Well, a lot of that just depends on the watermelon.
maybe.
I mean, you go to the store, like some days you go get a good one. If you
Yeah.
gotta pick out a good one. I think
That's
it's like
true.
the lines on the rind are closer together. Like especially like if they've got more lines.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Supposedly it's better if it does. But then I've also had like ones that look like they were kind of yellow looking. It was like the best watermelon I've ever
So
had.
that's what I was going to say. The bottom of them, where they've set the yellower, the kind of bald spot,
Because they're super ripe.
is supposed to be. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like the yellower, the.
But then you'll get
spot.
those sometimes, and then it's like the texture of
mealy.
Yeah, it's mealy. It's gross.
I can't do
And
that.
nobody likes that.
I've shot a dude over a mealy fucking watermelon. Dude, I can't do that. Mike was there. You remember that? No, but to me, it's almost like, okay, it tasted kind of weird and it was kind of odd, but it was like the experience of being with your friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, I got
Just
my
to try it.
friends.
It's like, hey,
and-
you remember that time we made a moonshine melon? Like,
that's what it is.
Weird.
I'm talking about it 20 years later, It's like, I don't remember the best. Well, I do remember the best steak I've ever had, but it's, I don't know. It's
is
just,
it at a restaurant?
yeah.
What
It really
restaurant?
was. Cane Prime
Never heard
in
of it.
Nashville. It was Wagyu.
Oh, Wagyu. That's the fancy
It was-
stuff.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. My wife took me there for my 40th birthday, and everything was a la carte, and like the steaks were ridiculous, and you got to pick your Wagyu. And I mean, it was like, it was so big, it was wobbly. You know what I mean? And I didn't need a knife. The best steak I've ever had.
You just pick it up with your hands and eat it.
I
basically- cut it with a fork?
I went like this, Hunter. I went.
They slurped it up.
But it was so good, It was one of those meals where you're like, well, I don't know that I can top this,
Yeah.
If you've had Wagyu or Wagyu, however you say it, it's just a different
Wagyu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Wagyu.
a different breed of Japanese cow that is so marbled, dude. I mean, just so marbled and perfect. Like when they brought it out, the top of it, it was probably about this big and probably this tall. And it looked like it had a perfect spider web over top of it of just perfect marbling through the
Yeah.
whole thing. And I was like, can I have that? And they brought it out, and they a la carte, and I think we got every side that they had, just because I was like, I can't choose. And she was like, well, let's just get all of them and then we'll just sample it. I was so useless and thick and fat and happy. I was
the meat
I was
sweats.
40 and happy.
The meat sweats. Did
I've
you get
had
them?
meat sweats. It's a real thing, dude.
It is. But you can get the meat sweats not just from meat though. Like,
Yeah, I've only had it eating too much meat though.
yeah,
Like,
I've had it just eating too fast.
yeah, I guess you're right.
What the hot dog, Rob?
That hot dog messed me up earlier. I was burping it up. The worst meat sweats I've ever had though. You ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse?
Oh gosh, I've been to a Brazilian steakhouse in Brazil.
Yes,
Delicious.
it's just next level. I'm like, their sides cool. Shave me off some filet. Shave
Yeah.
me off. Some of this.
That's probably like one of the times that I ate the most food in my life because they had like a sushi bar and
Oh,
like it was like
that's-
oceanfront too. It was really cool.
That's around, dude. I
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, that's so nice. I like sushi too, but here's the crazy part. I'm allergic to shellfish. So
Really,
there's that.
No crab.
Yeah, I had my band.
that sucks.
My band played.
I love shellfish.
Me too.
Does it like make you like choke up?
Yeah,
Oh gosh, yeah.
and it hasn't always been that way. We were playing a show at Ton 80 one night back in the late 90s, maybe 2000. Smoked Black and Miles, went back, smoked a little, hung out at my house, went to bed. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It felt like I was breathing through like a coffee stir. I was like, so I got pneumonia really bad, and I had to go to the hospital, and they like did the tube, did the whole thing because I was like swollen shut from pneumonia. And I woke up, didn't think anything about it, got over the pneumonia and all that, and then I went and had some of those little popcorn shrimp. In my whole life, I'd grown up. We had like a condo
Yeah.
at Myrtle Beach, and we'd go to the Calabash, all you can eat. You know what I'm saying? Like just destroying crab legs, destroying lobster.
Did you eat a lot of shellfish like all the time?
All the time when I
That's
was
probably
little.
why you developed an allergy.
It messed me up, dude.
Well, too much of anything you can develop an allergy for, like bread. That's why a lot of people have soy allergies nowadays. My dad has a soy allergy.
Really?
Yeah, I mean soy's in
soybean
everything.
and
Go
all that?
the next thing you buy at the store, go look at the label. Soy lecithin or soybean oil, like it's in everything.
I've seen that. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's-
soy is actually like an estrogenic thing. So
Okay.
yeah, a lot of soy, like soy formula.
Yeah.
No, it's not good for babies.
For babies. Yeah. That's wild, dude. Why do we have allergies? Like, I can't even eat that. I can't eat that. I'll die. I'm cool. That's manly.
Strawberries and almonds for me, man.
Really?
They both will kill me.
Really? Strawberries?
Strawberries and almonds.
That sucks.
My
Why not strawberry? That's a weird allergy to have.
My little daughter has it. So we were in the ER, couldn't figure out what in the world it was. She had whelps all over her whole body at 2 years old. Imagine daddy's little girl friggin' in the ER. You can't figure out what's going on. The only thing we could think of was the strawberries. And we cut out strawberries, and she's never had it ever since. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
My dad had a rash from the soy. We
Yeah.
give him a rash. I don't. Have any of you ever been to like Cafe Mekong in Blacksburg?
I don't think so.
Go. It's good. And
Yeah.
get the drunken noodle.
Okay.
Yeah. And if do you like spicy food?
Oh, yeah.
Get it all the way hot.
All
I
the
bet
way?
you won't finish it. I bet you won't
Yeah.
finish it.
See, certain things are just, they're
I mean,
just-
you might finish it, but you'll be hurting.
be hurting.
But
I've
it's
done-
good. I like it. It was tough, but I almost finished it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done the blazing
I was
challenge.
sweating. Listen, you want to talk about the meat sweats? I had the noodle and meat sweats.
I was fitting to die.
I was beating up on my forehead.
So I did the blaze challenge at Buffalo Wild Wings. I've done that one.
Yeah.
And the funny part is, to me, that wasn't as bad as the mango habanero that's there. Like the mango habanero, for some reason, the sweet with the spicy, like it kicks it in for some reason for me. But when in Murrells Inlet in South Carolina at Myrtle Beach, my dad always loved hot stuff growing up. So we went there, and they had a hot sauce store. And I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. I was going to get him some stuff for Father's Day. Well, they had this one thing that was like this extract, right? And it's just legit the hottest stuff on earth, apparently. I had to sign a waiver to buy it for my dad. Like that we will not sue if you use this wrong. Like it was legit. And then I gave it to him for Father's Day, and we didn't think about it. And then quite a bit later, Mom made some chili. And I was like, Mom, put that, in the chili whenever you do it. Dad hadn't tried it yet. She put 2 or 3 drops of that stuff in there, dude. There was no flavor. It tasted like chili off the devil's anus. It was like, I set the devil on his stomach, and was partaking chili right out of his BH.
Right out of his chili hole.
Dude, it was, I mean, I got maybe 3 bites and it was too much, dude. Like, how do you do that? What mad chemist that needs to visit the New River? If you can figure out how to kill me with some extract,
I mean, I like spicy food, but I mean, there's a point where it's like too hot.
it's too much, it's not enjoyable. So, like, what do you do in a gallon of, or 2 gallons of chili, you know? Like, think about that.
Make it spicy.
What the hell? You like tapatio or tapatio, however you say it? Have you ever had that?
Tapatio?
Yeah. That's that jam on the Mexican food, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's so good. It's
I
good.
don't know if I don't think I've ever had that.
It's good. It's good on fish, too. It's really good on fish. You had it on fish, Mikey? Tapatio. You had tapatio on fish? Nice. Muy bueno. It's really good. Well, tell the folks, man, where they can hook up with you.
Yeah, so we're on Facebook. It's at Smash Outdoors.
All right.
And on Instagram at smash.outdoors.
Killer. And you foresee the website coming, when do you think?
It'll probably be here about middle of the summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Killer. And let me know if you need, video stuff, dude. Graphics, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit you up for that because that's an area where I need a little bit of help. I mean,
I get it.
Based on the expertise that I have, I'm doing okay, but it's really hard for me to edit after taking the videos. It's just like it takes time.
So much.
But it's also hard for me to, be like, hey, if I send you all this, can you edit a video together? It's like, hey, no, because you don't know exactly what I want. Because there's certain things that I don't put in my videos because I don't want certain places to be named. I don't want certain things to be in the video. For purposes of like, hey, I'm not gonna go tell everybody exactly everything that I'm doing. I'm gonna give tips and stuff, but
yeah.
I'm not gonna, it's taken me years to figure some certain things out.
Man.
You give that knowledge away, and then next thing you know, some Joe Blow's going down there and doing the same thing that you're doing. It's like, it's kind of like, hey, like I figured that out, kind of thing. Like,
I figured this out on my own.
Yeah, I mean, if you go fishing with me, I'm more than willing to share. But
I got it. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, I've had a great time, man.
I appreciate it.
On.
Yeah, we need to do it again. We need to bring in.
I could bring some of my buddies, the guys that I'm here with. Keith, he's a great fisherman. He taught me everything I know about muskie fishing, and he can tell you honestly more than I can as far as what our fishery has going on. We're pretty tight, and Josh with the hunting and
that's killer,
stuff
man.
like that.
We need to do that whenever you get your site launched.
Yeah.
Whenever everything's rolling, let's plan on doing that again to really kind of push and
I can bring you some hats and some shirts.
Oh, I'm all
stuff
about
like
it.
that.
I'm all about it. Cody Rush hooked me up with this hat today.
Yeah.
So we
You good buddies with Cody?
I am, man.
I don't know him. I know
Yeah, he's a
Nick
good
well,
dude.
but-
His whole family's great. I've known Nick for years, and Cody, I actually helped him purchase like a little cabin out in Pilot. So I know the whole family. I know Larry. All shout out to all you guys. You're just good people. you
Yeah,
know.
I like Nick. Nick's a good guy.
Yeah. Did you mess with him at all? Were you part of the NIL at all?
Yeah.
That's killer.
Yeah, that's but when I was a kid, like high school and stuff like that, I told him this the other day when we had lunch, and I said, yeah, I got your letters when you were our delegate. When he'd be like, he'd send the letter, you know, when you do good, or like, for states and stuff like that. He'd
That's
send a letter,
cool.
and I was like, yeah, man. I was like, that's really cool. I was like, like for people, you're sending stuff like that out, that could make a difference in somebody's life. That
For
you
sure.
like don't even realize. Like some kid could see that and be like, wow, like, I'm gonna keep doing good.
That's awesome. I had that conversation last week with Jordan B., who's a comedian, just a hilarious dude, man. We had a blast. And another one of my guests, Zach Assad, had come on, and he had told me that many times, being a stand-up comedian, it's just the crowds it's just tough. Sometimes it's hit and sometimes it's miss. And Zach was getting ready to quit. But Jordan came and he saw him. He was like, man, Jordan was an established comic kind of,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, I like your stuff, dude. You're doing good. And it was just that little affirmation from somebody that you were like, oh man, I appreciate, you know.
Yeah, you never know like what it could take. Like somebody,
Oh,
you
dude.
could say something encouraging to one person like in your day, and like that could literally change that person's life.
100%. And you never know who that person is either.
Or you could be a jerk.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jerks, man. And, you know, my temperament's not always perfect to be the best, you know, encouraging person, but I try.
I
you
mean,
know?
there's obviously times when nobody's like in that mood, but
Yep.
there's certain times where like I've said certain things that are positive. And I feel like it's probably stuck with people and actually helped them. Maybe.
Yeah.
I know personally, it's happened to myself with other people saying things to me.
See?
So
And
it has to happen to other people.
And I can guarantee you can tell me who and when it was too.
Yeah.
You know, it's those little things, those opportunities that somebody looks at. You don't even know that somebody might look up to you, that they might say, hey, he's doing something cool. I wish I could do that. But it goes unsaid.
Yeah.
You know
in
what
the
I
back
mean?
of their like mind.
Yeah. But then they speak to you and, you know,
You say something and you like have that communication and it's like, oh wow. You know?
Yep.
It's crazy and you're probably trying to round this off.
I am.
Like,
I'm chilling
I feel
as
like
long as you
my
want.
degree's in communication actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's actually really important.
Yes.
You know, like as far as communication, like, and I've always been the kind of person to like hold stuff in.
Yeah.
But like as far as, you know, if you just like talk to somebody, even if it's about something, like say you don't like somebody, and then you go like, you ever done that? Like you not like somebody and then had a conversation with them,
And you
then
like
you
them.
end up be like, hey, that guy's not so bad.
It actually happened today to me. So.
And
yeah.
then it's like, sometimes all it takes is just like, hey, you just need to go like talk and not
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm just going to hold this in and be like, screw that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah, they might change. You know, your mind. You hit the nail on the head. It's like you preconceived a notion about somebody or who they may be, or
you know what they say about assumptions.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Why don't you tell us? Yep. Yep.
That's right.
You know, and it's. I'm guilty of it. You know, I make assumptions.
Everybody does it.
Based
Everybody
on,
does it.
oh, that dude's got a resting bitch face. He must be an asshole. You know what I mean? Or I've heard bad things or done that. And I have so many bigger fish to fry. I try not to get stuck on stuff, but at the same time, like I do, I'm guilty of it. I'll be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not you know, I don't want any speed bumps in my day. And that's just me, you know, and I try not to be
I
that
think
way.
everybody's like that.
Yeah. You have to be, or else you
Yeah.
get wrapped around the axle on everybody's good time. You're like, you know. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah. I had a good
We're
time
gonna-
chatting.
Yeah, me too. We're gonna do this again. I want to, dig in deeper to some of these
Yeah.
things. And
we can keep going.
I know, bro. We're gonna make it happen. And I want a hat. I definitely want a hat.
Yeah, I'll get
That's
you.
a
We
bad-
got some waxed hats. They're water resistant.
Oh, killer.
Yeah, they're pretty
dude.
sweet looking. They're actually my favorite.
Killer. One last time. What's the way that they can get in touch with you?
All right. We're on Facebook at Smash Outdoors and on Instagram at smash.outdoors.
Awesome.
Yep.
And guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Commotion Podcast. Until next time, next week, we've got a good one. We've got Big Lick Brewery out of Salem coming in. I think they're going to bring some brews, so you never know what's going to happen. Make sure you smash that subscribe and hit the like, and make sure you get notified here on YouTube. We love you. I'm Rob with Commotion Podcast. Until next week, we are out of here.